Wednesday, September the 1st, and there's an open house here at the Roxy Theatre. Hope to get open in a few weeks' time. So let's go in and see what's going on.
We've got 2 square machines. One will be for the concession. And it has a preset menu of items and prices. And the ticket booth one will be preset with the ticket prices.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's good. That's going to make things quicker.
Yeah, it will total things up. You can check.
You can say 2 adults and 3 children, tack, and it adds
and
it
then,
up.
yeah, you can clear the items. So if you do 2 adults and a child, $26, you would say charge, confirm and pay. If they don't want to do the electronic, they would use the back arrow, and then you can say cash. You enter in what they tender. They might give you $30 or $40. You oops, not 40,000.
Good sales, good sales.
Sales, yeah. Fat fingers.
We only need to be open one weekend.
Okay, once it's all tallied up, you know, how many methods can they pay by?
Well, they would say charge, confirm and pay. They have the option first to tap,
Okay.
insert their,
They can insert down here on the bottom.
and then
Okay,
do
good.
the chip and pin, or we can actually still swipe the card.
Oh, really?
and
Good.
then,
So, I mean, old school, new school,
Old
everything.
school, yeah. If they just want to do cash, you just go back 1 and you choose cash. Enter the amount tendered. If it's $20, it will tell you you need to give $4 change.
Oh, wow.
And
So it's really just like,
Yeah.
really like a till.
And then if you want to, if they need a receipt, we're going with printing because it's too hard to do texting and emailing to.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I think that's going to really help things.
But you would get
A receipt.
a receipt if you need one.
Excellent. Well, we just had to step up here to the concession. There's a bar for handy entrance as such there, so it looks pretty much like it did in the old days, except we've got the plastic screen here in front to protect workers and so on. So that's good. You'd say prices were going to go up a little bit here, I think, to help the theater out. I see drinks are $3, popcorn's $3, bars and candy $2.50. Donuts $5. Well, that's still a lot cheaper than you find in some of the bigger city theaters. So that's great, keeping the prices family sized. And we've got some new lighting features in here as well. Walk up to the screen, and if we look up here on the wall, replacing the lights and nothing on the ceiling anymore. These are LED lights, I believe. So let's have a walk up here, and what can you tell me there? What's happening? What's all this for?
Well, as you can see, the old lighting system we had was antiquated. It was actually cost a fair bit of money to run because we had to have special cabling and breakers from hydro. But the new system just runs off the standard 110 volt AC system.
Ah,
Each lamp can be individually programmed. As you can see, there's a whole variation of colors you can get as well. They can fade in and out, they can strobe, they can blink, whatever you want to put to them. They're actually configured at the moment in banks of 3, so we've got one in our side and some up in the ceiling space as well. But the great advantage is it's very easy to use. Now, it really is. It's just a switch, nice little dials. If you want to pre-program everything for you, for your colors, for your timing, whatever, that can all be handled as well.
so this works off a computer station somewhere at the back? or
It's
what?
just a simple little lighting box with a few sliders and lots of buttons.
And it's remote, I assume, to the...
Unfortunately, we do need an operator up there to
Okay.
actually hit it. But for things like this, where it's just cycling through its main color scheme,
Yeah.
then yeah, you
But as far as any wiring or anything, you don't have to wire to the...
it does need to be wired back.
Okay.
But like I said before, these lights require 220 volts. That's a fair bit of power. These are 110. And you can actually stand in front of them. Like you can these have been on now for a good 10, 15 minutes. You can't feel any heat.
No, you don't.
Those
feel
things
the-
need to be perspiring quite heavily after only a few minutes. But you can stand almost right in front of it, and there's no heat there. It's all lights, so they're so much more efficient to use as well. Yes, we did get a lot of support to get these lights in.
Okay, I'll check with Kate, the board. Thanks very much. Okay, thanks. Okay, I've tracked down the board chair, Kate Jackman Atkinson. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks. Nice to talk to you tonight. So there's been some changes made over the last year or so. Some of your renos, do you want to just tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, so we're at our open house right now, and one of the purposes of the open house was to showcase our recent what we're kind of calling our COVID renos, and that kind of included a little like a mini suite of upgrades that we feel will better allow us to keep our patrons and our volunteers a little safer as they enjoy their movie experience. So this whole project came in at just under $3,500, and what it included was some hands-free sanitizer stations and a fogger sanitizer, so that we can sanitize the space between shows or whenever we we feel that we would like to do so. So those are two things. So one a little more visible than the other, but certainly something that all of our patrons will enjoy is some minor upgrades to our bathroom. So we had three parts that were sort of COVID related. So we did hands-free soap dispensers, hands-free taps, and hands-free paper towel dispensers. So we felt that we're reducing those touch points, which is something that people are concerned about these days. Because we were redoing our taps, we thought it was a good time to redo the countertops in the bathrooms, because those had actually been on our list of things that we would like to turn our attention to, and it seemed as we were going this far, we might as well just go a little further. We also had an opportunity to just upgrade the flooring in there so that it's nice and clean, it'll be easy to clean down, and it looks quite fresh in there.
It sure did look fresh. I got a shot of it earlier, and it looks like new bathrooms.
Yeah,
really,
it sure does. So
nice job.
So it was certainly prompted by safety concerns, and I think we've been able to make a couple of cosmetic tweaks that will, again, we're looking to keep the building in good shape so that we can keep meeting the community's needs.
Yeah, and I was talking to Jamie earlier with the new lights and so on that that you've put in there. They're pretty exciting. And
yes.
He wasn't sure of the cost. We maybe got it wrong.
Yeah, we were thinking it was about $13,000. Although having said that, this was a project that we funded and began undertaking about 3 years ago. So with our memories a little rough. Although the lights with that fresh install, we're really excited to be welcoming some live performances, and it looks like we might even have one in October. So.
Oh wow, that's great. Well,
yeah.
So you're planning you mentioned October. You are planning an open October the 1st, I understand.
Yes.
Yes. COVID barring and so on, if you can.
Assuming that we can. We had initially looked at earlier in September, but there is another community event taking place the weekend before, and we thought that it would be best to just hold off a weekend and kind of splash out our grand opening to the extent that we can on that October 1st weekend. So at this point, assuming that we can operate, we'll be operating under whatever the COVID restrictions of the day are, regarding capacity, vaccination status, everything like that. We will be just operating under whatever the public health orders say that we do. The one thing that we have talked about is that because our lobby and our concession area can be quite congested, we would like to see masking in those areas. If the public health order doesn't require it, that's something that we're still talking about wanting to see, because those are congested areas and we don't feel that we can maintain that physical distancing. So that's maybe something to keep in mind if you're planning to come. Of course, once you sit in your seat, you can take your mask off and enjoy your popcorn.
Good, that's great. Thanks very much on that. So there's been a bit of change in pricing. I saw that in the paper that
yes.
we needed to make a little money, and it's been a while since prices went up, I understand.
Yes, so we being closed for a couple of years has given us a chance to kind of evaluate some of our cost structure and our pricing, and so we have actually increased the prices a little bit at the concession and at the box office. For example, in the concession area, we were only making about 10 cents off of some of the items that we were selling, and we felt that wasn't really a sustainable business model. So there are you know, there have been a little bit of a price increase in the concession, a little bit of a price increase at the box office. We still feel that it is still an affordable, affordable family outing, which is something that we feel quite strongly that the
that's right.
Roxy should be.
I spoke to Kay at the front there just a moment ago, and she said the admission prices were up $2 for each one. So I think that ends up at 6, 8, and 10.
Yes, yes, that's correct. And I know even amongst our board members, you know, they remembered that it was about, you know, $2 when they were kids, and that was quite a while ago. So
it started at 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, you would know that.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have, I know that it had been close to 10 years since we had done the last increase, so so we felt that, you know, just given the way costs are, that it was
Well, maybe just as the last topic about volunteers, and of course that's part of your purpose tonight,
Yes.
is to get some more volunteers. Maybe just tell us what a volunteer does when they offer to work at the Roxy.
You bet. So the volunteers run all of our shows. We're volunteer run, which is something that's really neat about the Roxy, I think. So we kind of have a team captain, so they're kind of overseeing the show, and then beneath them there will be just sort of volunteers. So if you think about everything that goes into kind of running the customer side of the movie, so our volunteers, you know, sell admission, and they prepare and sell the concession. And then after the show, you know, they kind of tidy up. We have a caretaker who actually cleans the facility, but, you know, sweep the popcorn out of the aisles and, you know, vacuum it up and just sort of tidy the theater so that when our caretaker comes, he doesn't have to tidy, he just has to clean.
Sure, and that defogger would be used by the caretaker.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah, well, a lot of people have volunteered over the years, and it's a lot of fun volunteering
It
for the
is.
Roxy, so
I think
hopefully you get the number of people, yeah.
I think it's the most fun place in town to volunteer. I am, of course, a little bit biased, but
No,
I wouldn't be on the board if I didn't think it was a fun place to volunteer.
Well, thank you for being on the board, and thank you for being the chair, which you've been for quite some time.
Yeah, since 2017.
Good, thank you very much, Kate, appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Dave.
Bye-bye.